what to do. Welcome to the Isle of Roux. Isle of Roux. The Creator gifted us with this land that we are blessed to share and care for together. We acknowledge that the land we gather on Mohkinstsis is the ancestral territory of the Siksika, Sissipi, the Siksika, the Gaina, the Piikani, and the Amskapi Piikani. We acknowledge all First Nations and Métis of Treaty 7 lands, the Tsuut'ina, the Ithkabi, which includes Bearspaw, Cherokee, and Goodstoney. We commit to advancing reconciliation guided by truths, respecting treaty laws, and humbly walking alongside First Nations, Métis, and Inuit. We recognize all who live, work, and play on these lands, and who now call this place home. We are forever grateful to see you guys here, and forever grateful to be here making art together. Okay.
So, you're quite pretty.
Oh, you are so sweet. What a charm.
I wasn't fishing for compliments.
I know.
Okay.
So this has been a week.
Is the mic on?
I checked. It's attached to
Check the sound.
to the YouTube.
Check, baby, check. 1, 2.
Yeah, and I checked the visuals.
Do you have the comments on?
The comments are there.
Is the internet or working? It seems really slow tonight, like quiet.
Maybe everyone's tired because the world's collapsing.
Okay,
Right?
maybe. Well, there's us. Turn this off. I'm gonna pin that to the top.
Yeah, I think we're doing good. I think if we can put an event on and make art together.
Here's a crazy thing. You ready for this crazy thing?
Always.
I posted a JPEG from the Calgary Herald, which is hardly like a communist newspaper.
Oh.
Maybe move that in a bit. And
Yeah.
yeah. There was 32,000 views of the post of a line graph.
People love line graph.
There was like 300 comments, and
On your post?
it wasn't my post. It was like, yes,
Like
I put up
an image from the Calgary Herald.
put up a JPEG of a bar chart, and
line graph.
and 32,000 people looked at it, and 340 people argued with each other, and all I wrote was dog barf about this
Scott's here. Hi,
line
Scott.
graph where the two parties were almost tied. And it was like people were slashing. You think this? Are you some kind of spy? And I was like, oh, for God's sake, like, I didn't write the chart. You know, I don't necessarily think of
Are you some kind of spy?
Calgary Herald as a bunch of communist, hippies, and NDP's still behind. So it was like it was shocking to me to get such a crazy
Do you
hostility.
think because it was from like a Calgary Herald, like
No.
there were so many people attached to it?
No, it was on my Facebook page,
Mhm.
and Jen said that somebody shared it to like one of those like shit, an acronym. People that are I like people that have strong views, really.
No,
Strong
yeah. Like,
opinions.
strong opinions is definitely one thing.
What's that?
Facebook notification.
Oh, that's probably them.
They're coming.
That's them now.
They always come with their pitchforks.
They were crazy. They were just everybody that was talking, like, not the people I agree with, but like, and it was so funny. You could almost like, okay, for one thing, what's it called? Remembrance Day is coming, and Remembrance Day is awesome and super important. But if somebody's crazy, they update their Facebook every twice a year And the only thing they ever update is Christmas, Remembrance Day, and Humboldt Broncos. It's like a dog whistle for like guess who I voted for. And I don't understand what those three keys indicate, but here's some consistencies.
Slash over there.
They all had under 35 friends, right? They all had accounts that started in the last 2 years. They all had the same dog whistles of. I honestly feel like these crazy people are ruining Remembrance Day. You know, like what is their fixation with Remembrance Day?
Are you saying people who don't have a lot of friends are crazy?
No, people who don't like.
Anybody
who
that
just,
disagrees with me is crazy.
who just make things to fight.
Well,
They
and
just
then you
make
go
them.
find some, pinko leftist teacher, socialist, and you attack them for being some kind of pinko by saying, dude, you're woke. And it's like, I like being woke. It's my thing.
It would be better than being asleep and getting kicked around in your sleep.
Okay, so can I tell you the one funny thing though? This was the fun thing that I liked is this one guy had written, if Nenshi wins, Calgary will be the next Detroit. And I'm like, dude, Detroit's thriving. He's like, if you're into drugs and crime, I'm like, all I said back was like, a little bit of light reading before you post makes your comments sound a lot cooler. Like, not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it wouldn't kill you just to Google genius it, right?
Just a little light reading.
Yeah, and then I literally counted until his post completely disappeared. Like, oh,
3, 2.
I guess I was completely wrong.
Yeah.
And,
Well-
bye.
Time to forget that ever happened.
and hit delete.
Yeah. Dirty delete.
Well, yeah, and then Jen called and asked if I was going to get rid of some of the really aggressive fascist comments. And I'm like, well, I'm not sure what to do anymore because people that I like were arguing back and made good comments, good arguments.
And if the conversation turns interesting, then
It didn't. It was awful. But I felt like I was getting rid of everybody's zingers by eventually took the whole post down.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't even care that much.
No,
Like,
yeah, you're just like
it wasn't of value to me to have it up. I
Yeah.
wasn't like committed to it. I was like, hey, look, everybody,
just to
the world's ending and it's still a conservative majority.
that would be what causes the end of the world though.
No, I don't think that's even true. I think
Just
if we were
kidding.
all conservatives or we were
Or
all
yeah.
liberals, I think the world would be a wonderful place. The
It's the
problem
fighting.
is, no, it's not the fighting.
I mean,
It's
Yeah.
the contrast that we're not all driving on the same side of the road. Really is how I look at it. Like if half the people, and it happens on my way to work every single day. Every single day I drive to work, and the people that are freaking out to drive faster are like, left lane is for passing only. And I'm like, you've been in that lane for 3 years, man. Like, is it that as long as you figure you never stop passing, that you have the right to go as fast as you want? And I often feel like if I'm in the right lane, going 10 over the speed limit, there shouldn't be somebody trying to make me go faster.
Mhm.
But I feel the same way as, guess what? Left lane is for passing only. So you get in the left lane, you pass the car in front of you, go as fast as you want while you're passing, but then discreetly get into the right lane until it's time to go again.
Like you said, just different. When you're having the two different values and then they're interacting.
Mm-hmm. Or that's good. My camera get hot? Did I bang it? I'm just looking forward to that day that all the equipment gets faulty on the same day. It's probably likely that all on the same day everything's going to wear out. Then I spilled coffee on the main laptop that we use. And I thought I got it off quick enough. Well, it seems to work. And then We wrote a book.
You.
I wrote a book. And on the last chapter, the letter P started sticking.
Who uses peas anymore?
I got sticky P, man. Don't even say it, Felix. Don't even say it. The toilet at my work always splashes up on the seat when you flush it. No matter how careful you are, you flush the toilet, and right before you leave, you have to go back and wipe off the seat because the actual flusher flops up and leaves a splash on the seat. And every time I go in there, I see a splash on the seat. I'm like, you guys are monsters. What are you making tonight? Do you know?
I like the idea of doing a pinch pot. And last week I did like a moon kind of cradle basket, and this time I want to do like just see what shape comes. And I was starting out with like a nice round sphere, but it's way harder than I like.
I have a question.
Yeah, way harder than I anticipated.
Do you find the word sphere uncomfortable?
No, I love spheres.
But the word sphere.
No, I find it comforting. Like
Spherical, I prefer.
Spherical.
But
Deeply.
Sphere
Deeply comforting.
is like a spear with a lisp. By the way, can I tell you something? I don't know why that was funny to you.
Well, you go with lisps very often. Like, this is like a go-to thing.
Yeah.
So, I don't think the lisps. But
Well,
I start hearing your voice go like,
Yeah.
saying certain things, and then it's like cute. So I'm like more laughing, like, oh, Rich.
how off? Okay, let's talk about Steve Martin. Ready?
What?
Steve Martin pioneered his own style of humor that was like a Steve Martinism. And the way it worked was he was watching Jackie Gleason, okay? And he noticed a pattern that Jackie Gleason would say, like a setup and a punchline. And even when the audience was like, couldn't hear his answer, they built the habit of laughing along with the punchline. And which meant some of the laughs weren't authentic. Maybe not all of them, but they were like laughing on cue. And he'd come to the conclusion that there was even times when you can't hear what he said, but the audience knew that that was the laugh part, and they would all laugh, right? So he decided that comedy should be built on tension.
Yeah.
Well, what you could do is only tell a few jokes, and at one point have a really loud, once you run out of jokes, like every maybe second or third joke, just have a really loud laugh track.
Right. Do you want to know what he did instead?
What?
He got rid of the punchlines. And he did this style of humor where he was just being like progressively more and more silly, building more and more tension. So we started doing this building tension humor. And you have to listen for your phone, okay? Can you text Colin, ask him where he's at?
I'm on my phone right now, so he'll text me when he's off.
That sounds like you did the opposite of what I asked you to do.
I know, Colin.
I asked you to text him, and it feels like you said, because I have my phone, I don't have to text him. Thank you so much. We are a family on the internet, and we're not very interesting. Felix is on his phone. I might as well be alone. Jess is sitting at the table.
I'm like, I have my eyes closed and I'm feeling with my hands what the inside of the shape feels like.
You do that?
Yeah.
I have
and-
never done that.
Well, you know, well, this is what
I've never done that.
really interesting. I'm finding interesting.
Yeah.
Is I was telling you about like I never thought about doing pitch pots,
Hmm.
and then we were talking about the wheel, and
Mhm.
then once you get really good at it, like craft versus art, if you can reel off so many that look exactly the same, that feeling like it's still handmade, but it's not.
There's a reel that keeps popping up for me,
Mhm.
and the reel is like somebody talking about the difference between craft and art,
Mhm.
and the conversation she's having really has a lot to do with pale and female art making.
Yeah.
Did you hear the same reel?
No, but that's what they always talk about was
Right.
traditional.
So, and like, I often think of it in terms of CTS, right? Like, because the shop is also craft.
Yeah.
Which is like
Yeah, like
power,
woodworking.
power tools and masculine and whatever. Not to say that women don't use power tools at all,
Mhm.
but like just the
But
stereotype
if you're gonna
attached.
be, if you're gonna be talking about stereotypes, yeah.
Draw a shop teacher, right? What are you gonna draw? And what I find, there's a couple things I find. One is, and I've said this online a number of times, is why is it that you will be sewing and it's normal in your practice for needles to fly off and land anywhere in the room where we live,
Where we live.
and yet neither of us is wearing safety eye protection?
You have glasses, but you're totally right.
And I'm like, should you be wearing goggles while you're sewing? You're like, no, nobody does that. That's not a thing. Sewing goggles, that'd be ridiculous. But at the school shop, it's forbidden to go into the wood room without your safety goggles, even if you're not running any machines, right? Like the chance that somebody might start a machine means everybody in this room
Goes in.
had, yeah.
Yeah, so the idea of the masculine and feminine in art making, and then what needs protection, what doesn't need protection. Because also the kitchen is scary.
Well, okay, so I didn't mean to go down that.
Oh,
path.
sorry, that's what I thought you
I
were.
brought it up, and I wanted to be cautious about how I presented it. And it also weighs quite a bit on my mind, too, because I'm a teacher. I don't often think of it as a female job,
Mhm.
right? But I've been hearing it described that way by people that were on the strike and the people that were against the strike, the feminine nature of teaching. And I'm not bothered by it, but I was a little shocked because, like, the idea that if women are making 80% of men,
Mhm.
and it is perceived as a female job or female dominated job, it's interesting that I would say our salary is often 80% of what we deserve, and it kind of fits with that. I remember not long ago somebody called me chauvinist because I had a job. And the premise was that if I didn't admit that I had a privilege, because I was privileged to have the job because I was male, then I was a chauvinist. And I thought that was a bit extreme. It didn't make me feel very warm. And on top of that, I said, well, I'm a teacher, so I'm not doing a very, I get the same pay. We all get the same pay. We're on a grid.
Yeah, it's a very
Right. But the person I was discussing with said that I was privileged to get the job, and it was my obligation to quit that job and make room for somebody else to have the job. And I very quickly felt myself desensitizing to the situation. Like, I want to be an ally here, but I'm hearing you say that only if, by not knowing anything about what I do, you're going to apply this blanket rule that I have to quit my job and start over, or else I'm not an ally. And that particular argument lives with several arguments in my head. Not argument, but that idea that have like they're barriers that I carry with me in my role as a feminist, right? Like I like to think of myself as a feminist, but it's guarded because there's also a film festival I went to when I was in art school. I just thought I was going to a cool film festival, and there was it was a feminist film festival. About the third film in happened to have a male voice involved in the storytelling. It was actually an actor kind of making an ass out of himself by playing kind of a jerk, kind of a stereotype. And I wasn't offended or not offended by the film. But during the question period, somebody was really offended that there's a male taking part in this film, even though he was sort of offering up his persona to be the villain, right? Like, it would be like watching wrestling and being mad that the bad guy was part of the show or something. Like, it was strange, and it made me really feel. I remember sort of like slinking out of that film festival, going, "Oh, I didn't know this wasn't for me to be at." Now, this is a lot of heavy stuff to bring up, and I don't want to sound like an incel or whatever, but I also think that like we really have to make sure that we cherish our allies, because I was really doing my best. And
well, like you say, the left is very good at ripping itself apart. Right? Like that's a sad reality.
And unfortunately, I'm kind of watching some of my friends right now bring out maybe the worst of what it means to be leftist, right? Because with everything that kind of happened with the strike, there is kind of a backlash right now. And the one thing I know is my conservative friends that are teachers are really suffering right now because they're going through an identity crisis. And I want to be empathetic to how difficult is that when you've sided with one side, chosen a side, and then doubled down and then found it didn't work for you very well.
Right, and it's like, yeah, you're betrayed by it.
Right, and I recognize that is a particularly difficult moment in your life. However, I often find some of my most earnest statements are met with hostility and the assumption that I'm saying the opposite of what I mean, right? Like, I think sometimes I go down this earnest path that people are expecting could only be sarcasm. And I find myself trapped in these moments of like, I only want the best for you, right? Well, why would you say that? It was because I'm really sad that maybe you're going through a hard time right now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. But I also know that you got friends that are having a rough time sort of redefining who they want to be right now.
I think it's this time in general we're really at these you can only build new worlds when you break down the old one, and I think it's uncomfortable for everybody, right, for different reasons, but I think there's like that rebirth of a new.
I'm just surprised like how often what I think is like compassion is met as though it's sarcasm. I'm like
so
shocked
sad.
at how differently my exterior comes off compared to what's going on in my interior.
Right.
Which you might even just think, well, didn't you just spend 10 minutes saying that you don't believe in feminism? Like, no, I really don't think I did. I think I spent 10 minutes talking about like my complicated history with wanting to
take part and be an ally.
Be supportive, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what we were talking about too. Like when we get into discussions about stuff,
You and I?
Yeah.
You say we like human beings, or you and I?
You and I. Like we're pretty decent communicators, we're writers, we value communication, like artists and everything, teachers. And we have similar values. But it's like we still have to really clarify, I'm coming from this position.
Well, this is an interesting way to have this conversation because normally we'd be facing each other, right?
Mhm. Oh, right, yeah.
And when we're online once a week, we spend 2 hours facing away from each other, which is bizarre.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But normally I'm looking into the room and I'm seeing east, and you're looking right across the table at me seeing west.
Yeah.
And either one of us could look over our shoulder at any point, but what we're really doing is looking at the exact opposite of what the other person's seeing. Right.
That's a good example.
And Kevin and I talk about it at school a lot because he's the band teacher. We share the arts hallway, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we do the exact opposite job.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to take 60 kids and make them into one voice in the band.
Right.
And I want to take 45 kids and teach them each their own voice, right?
Right.
And maybe several voices. Maybe I want my kids and
try different. Yeah. To try out every voice available to you.
But the one thing you don't want is the same voice as the person next to you, right? So even if you're coming from the same place, you find your own unique space.
Mm-hmm.
Now the other thing is like his kids love structure, and my kids rebel against it. So we traded classes one day, and Kevin had this great idea. He was gonna do an assignment that he really liked when he was in high school, and my kids were not having it. They're like, no. We do our own thing around here. And then one of his top students joined my class, which was really nice. But then she's just like, "Where's the rubric?" And I'm like, "Well, it's on D2L if you need it, but rather you just do what you like, you know."
What do you feel like? What do you?
What are my
What do you
outcomes?
feel like?
Well, they're all there. You can go look at them, and I'll tell you what they mean. But right now, it'd be really great if you just did what you want to do, and then I'll kind of get you a little started from there. Has Colin not gotten back to you?
No, well, he did. He said, Grandpa's, I need to plug in my phone.
Oh, he's getting my bike. Can you be really careful you don't kick that stand again?
Yeah.
You know what Felix just did?
He said, yeah.
Yeah, he kicked the stand and then he said, yeah. You know what you would have done?
Hey,
What would you have done?
I didn't do that. I would have said, I didn't do that.
For a second there, I thought you were telling me.
I know.
You didn't kick it. I'm like, yeah.
It was funny, double.
You're like, that wasn't
double.
me. I'm like, oh, thanks for gaslighting me. I love that.
Thank you. That was so nice of you.
When we went to pick you up from trick-or-treating, one of the kids was going down the street screaming about being gaslit. Was that you? Family values.
I think there was one point where
Mary, baby.
I don't think that was me.
Okay.
Because I think the last time me and Sky talked about gaslighting was like Wednesday.
You
Wednesday.
are on the live feed, please. So just remember, if you and your friends are discussing gaslighting, be careful how you say it. And I'm not saying that you and your friends gaslight each other. Just reminding you, we are in public. And there are no secrets on the Isle of Roux. What do you think of this?
It's so beautiful.
Is it?
In it.
Okay. What do I do with it? I'll just chuck it
What do you mean, chuck it?
aside so I can start another one.
What do you mean? Yeah, that's good.
Laura liked my book so far?
Yeah.
I wrote a book. I was not going to write any more books. I got 7 friends with me, but they're not talking. Keep on talking about you can't come in. You actually can
Also,
come in if you'd like.
Yeah,
Let's add a
and you
link.
can share photos of what you're doing, and you can.
We love it when you talk to us. I'm going to add the link here. Great. Where's my comment box? Oh, here?
Mm-hmm.
You got to click on that. Yo, click. That's not it, is it?
Yeah, StreamYard.
Oh, is it? Okay, yeah. So if you want to click on that, you can join us. You keep on knocking, but you can't come in. I'd love to know where that came from. You remember that?
That too.
Keep on knocking, but you can't come in. Felix, are you excited about going to see the hotel that Stephen King wrote The Shining in?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Scott says, what to do with it? Sell it to Mr. Forrest.
Oh, yeah. I'll fix up this edge, my friend. This is me not at my best, but I'm actually only going to here, so it works out. But, it's a good thing I left some space to work with there.
Wow, man.
In December, we're gonna have a little mini art dinner. Invite some friends over and cook some soup. The mic is muted. Somebody give me an idea. I'm out of ideas. Lungs.
Theo!
Hey!
What'd you miss? I drew.
Hello, Theo. Are we missing something dynamic tonight, Theo?
Well, I don't know. I've been kind of non-dynamic all day, so I really can't comment on the need for dynamism. Is that a word?
That is crazy. That is crazy. Ask me why that's crazy.
Okay, why is that crazy?
Is I was doing figure drawing with the kids today, and I wanted to talk about the dynamics, and I spent 5 minutes trying to say I'm like, somebody help me. They're like, we have no idea what you're saying. But then
Dynamism.
you know the last time I ever got stuck on that word is never, and then out of the blue you got stuck on the same word.
There you go.
It's like when I used to work at Beano and everybody would cherry Coke on the same night.
Speaking of forgetting words, the last 2 days I couldn't remember the word plywood.
That is hard if you're needing to buy some or talk about it.
Well, it was a conversation I was having in my own head, so it wasn't a big deal. I didn't feel the need to, I got to go online and, what kind of boards are there? And then today it just, oh yeah, plywood. How could I forget that? I don't know, but I did. So there you go. Yeah.
I'm just making a list here of the kinds of boards. Because the kind of board my students get when I'm speaking.
Which is very good for their
I had a
information,
great
by the way.
conversation with my kids today. They were in grade 9. And it was just sometimes we'll have like slow days and I'll just sit and draw next to them and they're drawing and I'm drawing. But I'm a teacher and they just think I'm a person. And one of them goes, oh, and an amazing teacher. And as a joke, I went, who, me? And they're like, yeah, you're okay. And I was like, oh, thanks. And then they started talking about how amazing this new teacher is. So I'm like, that's true and true. And what an amazing teacher. But I also pointed out, I said, do you want to know something that you guys are a little bit susceptible to? And they're like, what? I'm like, there's sort of a pattern that the new, young, handsome, or pretty teachers tend to get to be registered as the best teachers. And it is strange that we often think of the best teachers as the young teachers. And actually, remember when I was a young teacher, the other young teachers going, what's going to happen when we're not the young teachers anymore? And I'm not the kind of person that would think about that kind of thing, but I did after it was pointed out. So we started this conversation about what cool meant, right? And I just said to these 3 grade 9 kids, like, so who's better in a better place to decide what cool is, me or you guys? And they're like, oh, probably us. We're probably the ones that know what cool are. I'm like, do any of you have younger brothers or sisters? Like, I got a brother in grade 8, and I got a brother in grade 5. I'm like, okay, perfect. Can we agree that grade 9 is more about being cool than grade 5? They're like, yeah. I'm like, and were you less cool or more cool than grade 1? They're like, yeah, we weren't very cool in grade 1. And I'm like, okay, so here's something to consider. If I'm the middle-aged guy and grade 9s think I'm cool, is that a little bit like you're in grade 9 and you're in a gang of grade 1s and you walk up to your grade 9 friends, you're like, all the grade 1s think I'm wicked cool, dude. Like, and they were just like devastated to realize that they're probably going to get cooler as they're older. And they might not be at peak cool levels in grade 9. It wasn't devastated. They were like, oh.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be a pretty hopeful moment to be in. Because if you're in grade 9, man, that's...
Well, just the idea that I remember when I was a teenager thinking that me and my friends defined what cool meant,
Right.
and that old people didn't know what cool was. And again, when you're like 15 and you meet like a 60-year-old that lives like a 15-year-old, you're like, that guy's cool, right? And then you're 50 and you're looking at your contemporaries that are 50 and they're living like 15-year-olds. You're like, that is not cool, man.
Not cool.
You know what else is cool is I have my own vehicle and I paid for it and a driver's license. You have to ask for bus fare. It was a pretty cute argument, conversation. It wasn't as miserable as it sounds. I'm stuck for an idea, man. What do you got for me?
Let's see. Oh, it doesn't lend itself to a picture very well. The death of the Republican Party.
The death of the Republican Party.
Yeah.
Man, at this point, I'm just willing to let one side take over. You weren't on the line when I was talking about how I shared a line graph and got attacked by 30,000 people.
Yeah, I caught that.
Oh, okay. Well, that happened. I didn't even make the line graph. It was like they were attacking me for being some kind of like spy bot, and like I just put a JPEG of something from the Calgary Herald up, and you guys are all flipping out. Also, how did they find me?
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Reminds me of that cartoon. Dear, you should come to bed. I can't. Someone on the internet is wrong.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't arguing with people. I argued with one guy and then he disappeared. He was just saying that if Nenshi was the premier of Alberta, we would stumble into a chaos like Detroit. And I pointed out to him that Detroit's having a resurgence. And then he just said, yeah, drugs and crime. I'm like, this is what I said. I said, just do a little light reading before you comment. It'd be a lot cooler. And then he deleted his comment because clearly he probably looked it up. He Google genius himself and realized he was wrong.
I always say that's an interesting point. What exactly are you using to arrive at that conclusion?
Have you ever changed anybody's mind?
And usually most folks that are arguing a really poorly thought out opinion freeze up at that point and start calling you names.
Yeah. I guess a good fist fight sometimes.
Yeah, those things can happen too. Usually in bars at around 10, 11, 12 o'clock. If you're really good though, you can have them, at dinner time.
Yeah. Get home early. Hey?
Yeah.
I think because I used to wrestle, I was sort of exempt from a lot of the fist fighting. One thing, a lot of the kids knew I wrestled, so they didn't really want to test themselves. And then I remember one time this hockey player picked a fight with me, and I just wasn't really mad at him. Like I was kind of like, I was wrestling 25 hours a week, and he seemed to be having a rough day, and he started pounding me. And I just wasn't like angry enough to hit him back, and I just sort of waited it out. And I feel like I came off looking like a real daisy because I wasn't so aggressive that day.
Or like not a daisy because you're like the guy going, oh.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was like that. It was more like.
Is that all you got?
No, I've had fights like that. This wasn't like that. This was more like. I remember thinking the first time he hit me, he doesn't hit very hard. And then I thought, he's a lot bigger than me. I didn't really meant to fight him. He just started hitting me, and I have to sort of figure out how I can respond. But I remember thinking, like, I can win this fight, but I'm really going to have to hurt him. Like, there's no middle. And I just wasn't in the mood. So I just kind of let it ride out, and I'm pretty sure I looked like kind of a putz. But, you live through these moments. Actually, I'll probably run into that guy on the Facebook someday. Theo, I just wrote a novel.
Oh, I forgot to ask you because you don't have your phone number up there. Does that mean you don't have the phone?
43629-7424.
And will that call the old phone that you have?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 403-629-7424.
403. Yeah, is it not on the screen?
Uh,
Look right there
oh.
in yellow.
Oh, pardon me. Yeah, it says text, and me being a literal person, I'm thinking, oh, it only works for text because I've only been living with telephones for my entire life, and I still don't know how things work.
I think phones have changed, actually.
Oh yeah.
Now I text somebody to let them know I'm gonna phone them. That was a new thing.
Yeah. No, I'm just kind of extremely dull and unimaginative today. So, when I see text, I'm thinking, oh, yeah, it'll only work on the text line. I don't want to text them. I want to phone call them, And,
Every now and then, Jess and I are dealing things. There's certain things that she deals with that I don't. And if it's a her thing and it involves the phone, it really gets heated because she won't face anything. So it's like, okay, this is a you thing. I don't know how to deal with this one. You started, and I need you to finish this one. Yeah. Can you just phone this person and straighten it out?
I will literally do anything to not call them.
Including lying as though you're about to go do it and then just not do it.
Or be like, yeah, I called you, didn't answer, and then.
Yeah, that's not cool.
It doesn't solve problems, that's for sure.
All the big problems we've had to do with task avoidance.
Baobabs.
Baobabs.
I did not cut out the baobabs when I had the time.
Right.
When they were little and reasonable and easy to deal with.
Mm-hmm. You know what else is funny?
What?
I was asking the kids in my class, this is something that comes up every now and then. Usually when a boy's voice cracks. I guess I'm on defending the boys today. Boy's voice cracks and everybody giggles. That's like a funny joke, right? And then I'll ask the kids, how many of you, your dad's kind of lost the hair off the top of his head? And about a quarter of them put their hands up. I'm like, okay, so is that a funny thing you guys laugh at? And they're like, he loves that joke. I'm like, what if he doesn't? What if it's actually hurts his feelings that you're teasing him about his cue ball head, and they'll laugh and giggle. I'm like, no, but seriously, what if that's just defending yourself by pretending you think it's funny, but you actually wish you still had your hair.
Does that hit harder? Because a lot of kids laugh when they don't want to laugh.
Did it make more sense to them?
Yeah.
No. There was a clear understanding that we're civilized in the sense that we don't tease teenage girls when they're going through puberty. I think maybe in your age they probably you knocked a guy out because he snapped your bra. That's I'm sure that happens, and there's probably lots of times where it's ignored. But we know it's wrong, right?
Yeah. But like you said,
we don't respect people's bodies and that, I know bad things have happened and bad things do happen, but it's recognized that you shouldn't do that. Whereas if a boy's voice cracks, it's you're good to go and just make fun of him, right? Mm-hmm. If your dad's bald, it's fine to make fun of his head. Call him cue ball or whatever.
No, it's not though. Because I know what you're saying, but there's these things that we're okay with, but it's still not. I get people to stop when they, or when someone gets a haircut and they don't like it and they're shy, it's they all start laughing at each other. I'm like, do you think that helps?
Yeah.
Right? When life's hard enough. And like you said, I think there is a protection around maybe the girls a little bit more now because there was
we had to teach people.
Yeah, you had to.
It's not okay to tease people about puberty, but we haven't gotten around to lecture about be gentle with the
with everybody. It's such a hard time. We're talking today in class. We don't.
Is Felix making music in his room? Are the pigeons making music on the balcony?
Could be me.
Oh, I bet you it could be you.
I've got a record. I've got a radio station playing in the background.
I don't think it's loud enough for the algorithm.
Okay.
You enjoy yourself with that. Can you hear the music?
Yeah, I can.
Nice. That's something I'd like to get worked out, like a point where like I can hear the music is not being picked up by the mics.
Oh.
What do you think of this?
Oh.
Boy.
What do we got there?
I just opened up the comments. It was like,
Any comments?
oh, I thought we were on Instagram.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? We've been realizing we're ignoring our Instagram friends. If you want to say hello to us,
Hi, Instagram people.
the Grimers. I'm gonna get this off without.
Where's your knife?
No,
I like ripping.
I like how I already know about knives. You're like, oh, I have a solution. You could use
No,
a
I know
knife.
you know about knives.
It's like Felix and there's like.
It was more
yes,
like if you don't. If
you should
don't
have worn
feel-
your. Oh, this might be broken.
If you don't like feel like getting up, I can get the knife.
No, in this case, I don't want.
Oh,
Whose flute is that? Phil.
That's a trumpet or cornet right now.
Okay, I thought you were listening to like either Donovan.
No, it's a Gordon Hilton Fix jazz program on CGSW.
Nice.
Yeah, he plays good stuff.
Can you put this so it doesn't drip? Oh, you gotta
ooh, that just about knocked this out.
cat those strips.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Anyhow.
Okay. See outside. $100 view.
Jesus, man, not doing very well.
I did like the off center kind of like moon pot last.
Moon pot.
I don't know. An upright kind of pause, but then I slammed it so the bottom would be kind of on the side. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like at a, what is that? Like a 45, 30 degree angle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. It's a bird. Maybe make it like a headless bird.
Guess what? I heard it upstairs.
He will be here. We will be here.
Felix.
Yeah, I know. Is the game picked up?
Nice.
Bag. Oh, Canada. Bass guitar.
Bye-bye. Yeah, I know. Not here yet. He'll be here in 10 minutes.
So get your things. There you go. That was nice. Have a wonderful adventure, Felix. Is that his phone there?
Where's your phone,
I have
Felix?
to plug in.
I got it.
Let's go wait outside. You'll remember to talk to the people out there, Justin?
Oh yeah.
I bet you don't. I'm gonna watch you from outside. I am. 100%. Where's my fob? Gotta put it somewhere safe. Where's your fob? Vinny Favorino. What? Wait.
Up your nose with the rubber hoops.
Take this piece of glass and shove it out your nose.
You're gonna rhyme there.
I know.
Take this piece of glass and shove it up here.
Okay.
No.
I took all the solutions out of my book.
That's when you make like a beeping sound in the movie or something.
Oh right. I turned it on the applesauce with the back of a spoon. It's still a bit wet, so there. When it dries a bit, it's nicer to get a nice texture on. I always have to do this last tidy up every time. Then do this. There's something so clean though, like even if there's like dust on the floor, it always is like feels so clean. I like the feeling of how clean, even if it's all over your hands. And it's like it's literally dirt. I'm like, yeah, but it's like earth, and I feel like it's so clean. Like when you're working in the garden all day, and there's dirt everywhere, but it's like clean, dirty. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So Rich wrote this book, and we've been like he just finished it on the weekend, and then we've been kind of finished it, and then we've been working on like the continuity and the editing, and I've just been like when you watch like a series, you watch something or listen to a book or read a book, and you get sucked into that world. I feel like I've been living in that world for a while, which is really nice.
That's good. You're supposed to live it while you're reading it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like like in my dreams and then it's kind of affecting too in a good way how like interactions in a day because like just really being reflective of this little boy in the story, and then it's like oh yeah like just I don't know all these things these kids are going through all the time. He would like write feverishly, and then I would come to the next section, and I would just be there just like devastated, like crying because it's so beautiful. Because I think maybe that's why he's talking so much about the young men tonight, like talking about the idea of different perspectives on things. Because from that male perspective, I think in school, it's really easy to pin like bad behavior on a kid. They never can outrun that like label, and then I don't know, they're just kids, and then you think like some of them are hard, but I don't know. It really Richard definitely made me 1,000 times better human just from like learning about his perspective.
This is good.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it because it's like, because I know too that he's thoughtful and it's not just like random, it's not just saying something for the sake of saying something. It's like really important. Felix is learning to play the bass, so we have like an acoustic, and we got to borrow a really nice bass from a friend too. So Felix was tuning up the basses tonight while we were setting up for this, and that was really lovely.
He's learning the bass.
Yeah, they have a band at school. Yeah. It's pretty sweet. We were talking about like the different personalities of the different instruments. And the bass is usually that caregiver of the group. What do you think, Theo?
Well, the bass is it drives, it controls the rhythm
Mm-hmm.
of whatever piece of music is being played. So it's a really important part.
Yeah.
And if it's not played well, then it breaks up the rest of the music.
Yeah, like you said, that continuity and that driving force.
Yeah. Like, who is it? I was just reading a piece. He was the bassist for Queen.
Oh.
And after Freddie Mercury died, he just stopped playing music.
Oh.
But while he was in the group, he auditioned for them in 1970 or 71. They'd been looking for a bass player, and when he played for them, they realized, hey, this is the guy that we need. And so his contributions, and he wrote quite a few songs for Queen that were big hits as well.
Oh, cool.
It was his ability to write, to make the bass such an important part that made everything cohesive for the rest of the music. And that's basically, I think, what the bass's main job should be. If it's going to, unless it's going to actually be some solo stuff, its job is to make everything else sound even better.
I like that. Yeah, you're right. And that definitely it does make sense that certain personalities go towards certain instruments.
Oh, well, there's lots of bass player jokes out there,
What are they? I don't even know.
Well, I've read them, and I thought, oh yeah, it's easy to pick on the bass player kind of thing.
Oh,
It's but for me to remember any of them, yeah, forget that. That's beyond the power of the boiled cabbage that constitutes my conscious memory.
I will look up bass jokes to tell Felix.
Yeah. Bass players. Well, it kind of goes like for drummers, even. They pick on drummers, right?
Yeah.
How do you tell if the what do you call it, the area that a band plays on? The platform, the
stage.
The stage. How do you tell if the stage is level?
How?
The drummer drools out of both sides of his mouth.
Oh man, I see.
It's terrible. And because it's so stupid, it's funny.
Right. Rich always says that one of his friends had a drum kit and he wouldn't let anyone touch them. And he thought, well, like you're supposed to be able to like ream on those. Like why are you treating them so gently? Like being so worried about them. And then he said when he got drums, he understood that it's like anyone can play the drums, but then you have to be good and dedicated to get like exceptional, but that there's such a human thing that anyone can really start
making rhythm is I do it all the time, and I couldn't music my way out of a wet paper bag.
Yeah, it's a human thing for sure. So it's like that's what he said he discovered is like, oh, that's what he's protecting is the preciousness of it.
Well, again, it gets back to the drums. The drums percussion is another part of the
The backbone.
music scenario that holds everything together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. When everyone's having their solos, it's that like heart in the back too. My dad always showed me the like Cream. He loved Cream.
Mm-hmm.
Ginger Baker was his favorite, and he showed me
Yeah.
live at Massey Hall with like the 20-minute Ginger Baker drum solo and
Yeah. Well, and that's
like I don't even know how like my uncle also plays the drums and sings, and that's incredible to me like because it takes so much effort to focus on singing alone, and to be able to drum and sing just blows my mind.
yeah. There's lots of good and famous singers that were the drum players in their band. Yeah. Don't ask me to name them, of course, because again, boiled cabbage.
Yeah, I'm trying full cabbage. I'll say their own thing too, I guess, because I have one in my head.
Okay. Donkey. I'm going to mute myself because I'm going to be using a dryer.
Okay. And I think Kelly had a really nice busy Halloween. I saw some of the pictures of her Moss Man character. I really like the quality of the figure that she created. And I think I need to be more aggressive with this so I get nice texture. And get this shape. Okay. It's a little pot, and I don't know how to show it. So it's like that angle that it's sitting at is really nice. A nice lean. So if I put herbs in it and nice magic things, it can just sit there with the herbs spewing out of it. But what else? Maybe. I always see these beautiful pieces. Actually, on Wednesday nights, friend Margot was online that one night, and she sent us a few beautiful pieces. And then she does drop-ins every Wednesday, so that's why she's always busy on the Wednesday nights, so she can't join us from the live feed. She's in BC. But it's such beautiful, like infinity to make out of clay. And whenever I make it, it's like maybe I don't push it far enough because I see some pieces. I'm like, oh my god, I would love to sit there and just struggle with that for a little bit. But then I end up doing something like this. I'm like, oh, that's nice, and then I stop. That's
So what you're doing right now, there's a technique or a process
yeah. I was using like pinch pot in really
where
big.
you basically make the pot with your hands, right?
Yeah, totally. And so I started by going upright, but then I thought, oh, I'm gonna like plop it, use gravity and plop it on, so I could, it's kind of got angle. And so I thought, oh, that's kind of like something, like a different thing. But now I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should unplop it. But now maybe it's
I like the concept of an angle in some pieces simply because then it becomes a holder for things, a more well, they will use the word dynamic holder because it's putting an angle on everything.
right.
So
Yeah,
whatever goes into it will be following that angle whether it wants to or not, kind of a thing.
yeah, I like that. Thank you. Yeah, I like that a lot because then it's kind of, yeah, it's dictating. Like if I put like dried flowers or something in it, it'll be shooting up that way. And
Yep.
if it's like oh, maybe it's like a mouth, and you could
That too. Yep.
put teeth in
Okay,
it.
now you can put teeth in it.
Yeah, and eyeballs. Rich always makes good ghouls. That is so good. Wow, that is fun. I like that idea. Right, instead of just the vase, I'm gonna.
Vase.
Maybe. Ah, it's just the same problem I have when I do like drawings or something. It's like gets to a point where it's like pretty, and then I get afraid to touch it.
Mhm.
Mouth though. Let's do a mouth. Maybe fish. How was the send off?
Brutal.
Oh,
Well, how would I word it? We were a bit in a rush. No, Colin went to the other alley,
okay.
and so like trying to be like helpful, I went to the part of the alley that was like available, like the what do you call it?
Kind of like be easier to access, or
Sure, yeah. And but a car got stuck behind him, so he was like thoughtfully getting out of the way. So he drove down to the end of our alley.
no.
And I was like, oh man, I hope he turns around. And then he just went around the corner, and then
It's a one way.
it's like 10 blocks to go
Onto a
back.
one
Yeah.
way. Onto a one way. Well, we lived through it. Everything's fine now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't gush the way you do, and I should. When we were just friends, you wrote a poem and shared it with me. I said, cute. And it almost killed you.
I probably just went, oh.
No, you got really quiet, and then I was like, I think I might have done something wrong.
Oh.
I close my eyes, draw back the curtain to see for certain what I thought I knew. Far, far away.
I was waking. I know I was waking.
Theo, how huge of a Donny Osmond fan were you?
Oh,
Donny Osmond, you know, I paid attention to him, but no, it wasn't an artist that particularly did anything for me.
No. Didn't go out and get purple socks?
Well, yeah, I mean, my whole life I've not really been a consumer of recorded music. I've been a radio person.
You tell me that every week, and I know that. I just don't think
It
I
fit.
thought it well.
It fit my budget really well.
there's some conversation here. So Scott said more utilitarian. I love it. The shape's just right. Thank you, Scott. Kelly said, not feeling well tonight, guys. I'm off to bed early. I was outside all afternoon doing tear. Oh yeah, that's fair. I was thinking about you with your Halloween stuff, Kelly. Hope you have a good night. And Jack Pike. Okay, because I was talking about drummers that could also sing. Jack,
I have a
Rainbow
question,
Star.
please.
Phil Collins. I was going to say Phil Collins. Yeah.
Can you ask Jack Pike?
Yeah.
If we owe him $50, and if they got their art piece.
Oh yeah, Jack Pike. I texted him. I said, "Do you want me to e-transfer? You want to pick it up?" And then he said, "I'll just pick it up whenever I see you next." And then, they did get the.
So if we don't see him again,
He sent a picture of Etzko's.
they did get it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It turns out that people they're picking up from were way more confused than we even thought. So,
What does that mean?
like, they thought it was the 27th last week or something. Like, it was just a gong show.
Okay.
So I'm glad.
But they
got-
told us somebody was there.
No, I know. It's,
Maybe they just say things like that. Like, I
No,
don't feel
like-
comfortable being truthful right now.
no. It was like they were there for a different class or something, but it all worked out anyways.
With rocks, turn off your mind and float down the street. I invented a new way to teach last week. I took 2 previous lessons and a tip, and I just embedded the learned knowledge from the previous 2 lessons. One is just our opening day where we do the proportions of the face. The second is the second lesson is the coffee cup lesson, where I show them how to make a drawing of a coffee cup icon and then shift the intention from an icon to a rendering. And the combination of those 2 lessons I was able to take and say, what I need you to do now is make this drawing, but only use darker lights, have no midtones. Use no lines. It's forbidden to use lines. And I said, if you have to, you can fake it and hide your lines, but I'm going to know. Like, it won't be a secret that you're doing that. So just try and do it without using lines. And we used your portraits,
Mugshots
mugshots, yeah.
from Alcatraz.
Did a fan just go off?
Our HEPA filter just turned on
Why would that be?
because it just cycles through its things.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I thought we had a HEPA filter plugged in that was not doing anything.
No, it cycles through like
Our HEPA. Are you talking about the
the one in the hallway.
Ha! I thought we've had that for 3 years and it doesn't get turned on. In fact, we have the fan on at night, and I thought, the HEPA filter also circulates air. Why do we never use the HEPA filter? Are you saying it's on all the time?
Yeah, it's on all the time. I just put new things in.
For how long has it been on?
Like since we were gonna give it away, and then we brought it back in the house.
How healthy we must be.
We don't even know it.
Why did you laugh at me about that?
I love that you
Didn't know?
know that you're like how healthy we must. I like.
Well,
that.
because we have this thing taking up space too. We have some space issues in this house, right?
Mhm. I think we're doing pretty well
Yeah.
with those.
Theo, guess what? We paid rent.
Yay!
Everybody thinks that the teachers were struggling last month because we were on strike, but what they didn't know is that we got paychecks last month, and this month we got bubkiss.
Yeah.
So last night or 2 nights ago when we went grocery shopping was the first time in about 15 years. Well, that's not true. There's other times we were really hitting rock bottom, but usually because of the gallery.
Yeah.
But like the extended, we don't have enough to get by this month kicked in this month and not last month. And we're in the grocery store and Jess is like, "Can you pass the celery? Put the celery in the basket." I was like, "I don't think we're getting celery. Like, there's not enough nutrients." And I was literally
His line was, "Nope, not enough nutrients."
no, but you buy all kinds of things thinking they'll make dinner nicer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go on strike. You're like, we need to live off of half of our regular starvation diet.
Like protein powder.
Yeah, if it's not something that's directly going to keep. And I remember being like young. I wasn't like sleeping in a back alley homeless, but I didn't have a home. And I still have quite a lot of baggage from around that time. Like there was a span of time when I didn't have a place to stay or live. And I was attending art school and I had all my art from my last year drawing in one of those portfolios that are like as big as the biggest kite you've ever flown. And also acted sort of like the biggest kite you ever flown when it was windy. And we're walking to the gallery to take my artwork to show Scott, which I was very quite pleased about sharing my
walking
artwork.
to heritage posters.
But I was like, "Can you tell me why I have all this stuff in the big folder?" And you're like, "There isn't a medium-sized folder." I was like, "No, there is, because you would not believe how much trauma I have invested in the large folder." And I was surprised, actually. I was actually quite surprised you don't have the same amount of trauma. I just assume every art student went a few years walking around with this massive.
I had the cardboard ones, and like I was saying, I have like
And a car.
Yeah, and a car.
Right.
And a home, like a consistent
Right.
place to keep
Place
it.
to live. So
100%. But that alters perspective, right?
right. So anyhow, what I was saying was, there were lots of times in my life when I'd have to like shop on a budget, right? And I remember watching TV. So again, like when I say homeless, like I was watching somebody's TV, so I had a place to stay. There was this homeless guy on TV talking about when people buy him things, they need to buy them the right things. They can't just reach in the cart and give them their leftovers, which sounded like kind of like arrogant for somebody that was like, asking for other people to feed him. But I 100% knew where he was coming from. He's like, I'm not going to buy toothpaste, right? I'm going to buy an apple, and the apple's going to clean my teeth while I chew it, right? And there's a lot more vitamins in the apple than the toothpaste, was what he said on TV. They're just interviewing this guy that was living rough. And I remember while we're grocery shopping, I had a bit of a flashback to making decisions like, am I getting a vegetable that's going to scrub my teeth, or am I getting toothpaste? Like, those were some rough days, right? Like, anyways, we paid rent for we saved enough from this month, and we're going to hit the end of the month, I think, within the range of what we would have spent on a really, really, really indulgent bad month. Like, there was a couple months there right at the end of the year where, like, we lived together for 12 years. Like, it's time to get a kitchen table. So we got a kitchen table. We're on it right now. And then we got a couch. Like, we need to have a couch, because we had like a sort of a love seat, yeah. And we do have nice carpets. Can't complain about that. And we just finished building our house. It's a very small 3-room apartment that turns into a nice studio with a $1 million view. But and some renegade curtains that aren't supposed to be there.
Okay. I flattened the mouth, and it's kind of like kind of like a big bass
Blue.
fish.
Ink. This is my Ranger Star BTW. Relax, turn off your mind and float downstream.
I'm just gonna wash my hands.
You know the emphasis on mind, that hard I,
Yeah.
with their Liverpudlian accents in Tomorrow Never Knows. Always sounds very Welsh to me. Like if you said mind with a Welsh accent, it would have a very hard I. Mind, I.
Liverpudlians.
It's no fun being a Liverpudlian. I'm a shadow. That scared the crap out of me.
That is so fun.
Jack Pike. Oh, it's not Jack Pike. It's Theo. Hi, Theo. Blast. Thank you so much. Goodbye. That was lovely. Core Blast. I wonder what Core Blast looks like. I used to play this game with my high school kids because, believe it or not, I don't know anything about. What don't I know about? Don't say everything.
Oh.
That'll get you in trouble. Jigglypuff.
Pokemon.
I don't know anything about Pokemon. Was that Pokemon or something else?
Yeah, Pokemon, because you made up.
Yeah. And then so they would tell me the names of Pokemon characters, and I would try and guess what they looked like from their names. Is that so? Sent my first draft of my book to my publisher today. That sounds pretty cool to say. My publisher.
Oh.
Okay. The Mandalorian. I'll draw a picture of the Mandalorian from McGregor. How's that?
That's nice.
And it. This is the way. Ooh, la. She loves you. It was crazy to find that picture of the Beatles at Jerry's. And then I thought he was selling it, but it just gave it to him and they were keeping it.
That's super funny.
Sweet.
He's like, you gave me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone just liked that. Yes, you did.
Yeah. I'm just zipping through here looking for some inspiration. We're not going to see Felix for 2 weeks. You feel with that?
He's going on a good adventure, so that's nice.
Gotta keep those loving good.
Where's Felix going?
He's going to be Florida man for a while.
Ooh, wow. Let's hope he's not really going to be Florida man. Florida man has a tendency to
End up in the news.
end up dead, actually. You know, they're always in the running for those Darwin Award things. Dying before you breed.
There was a pretty cute one on the elevator video that they show us. They put little clips of news, and it was the first positive one I'd ever seen. Florida man in Batman getup takes down burglary suspect, and he was just this cute guy, just smiling with a Batman pajama. It wasn't even a like hardcore Batman. It was like Batman pajamas, and he was so happy, and he was just this cute Florida man. And I was like, wow, that was the calmest Florida man statement I've ever heard.
That's good.
Yeah, it was a nice one.
Theo, I went to high school with this guy that was building a Batman armor suit to fight crime. I think somebody had graffitied on his parents' fence, and he'd worked it out that he was going to fight graffiti people dressed as Batman. And so I remember we were in high school. He was in my art class. He's a good friend of mine. I was Sid friends for years. And he brought me over to his house to see the Batman uniform he was working on because he wanted some help with it. He had this is also, by the way, just before the Michael Keaton Batman. So he had an entire shrine to Batman that was unusual because that was at that time where like Batman and Star Wars was like,
God.
If I said pastiche, what would that mean?
Pastiche is like a
Yeah, like well, what I mean is old-fashioned and nostalgic, right? Like when I was in high school, no one had thought about Star Wars in a decade, and we thought it was over, right? And so
an artistic work in a style that imitates that of another work, artist or period.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's what I wanted to say, pastiche.
Nice.
So so what happened is Batman hadn't had a resurgence. Star Wars hadn't had a resurgence. My friend Matthew had bought himself a rubber vulcanized Batman mask, maybe in anticipation of the new film coming out. And he was building through like hockey armor and other kind of weaponry things. He was building a Batman armored suit to fight crime in. And so he was like brass knuckling up a pair of ski gloves, and he was.
And this was to fight graffiti artists.
Yes, this might have been like kind of close to when Jess was born. Actually, there wasn't a lot of graffiti happening back then. It was kind of like a fringe, wasn't like a popular thing at the time. Again, there was a bit of a pastiche where people forgot about graffiti art, and they were just sort of like somebody like wrote the F word on his fence or something.
Yeah.
He was so offended, he decided he was going to dedicate his life to fighting crime in Kenya Meadows. And so he had this full Batman suit. And I remember while he was building the Batman suit, he was also like adjusting his steel-toed boots to be part of this sort of slash costume fighting equipment uniform. And I was like, what's the weight on this your weaponry here? Because what are you going to do if you have to run? Because I'm picturing like 5 squad cars showing up in Canyon Meadows looking for a guy dressed like Batman, and Matthew literally running away in slow motion, like thump, thump, and then getting tackled. And I remember saying like, well, how are you going to run away if you get like, you know, whatever? Like, no, the whole point of this is I will never have to run away. I was like, Matthew, like, what happens when the cops come, you know? And we laughed pretty hard about that because I don't know if he fully thought this one out. Anywho, he also studied martial arts, right? And his dream ambition was to stop something like a crime or something, yeah. And all he really ever did, like if you called him up, he's like, no, I'm working tonight. He was a guy that was getting paid regular wages to be the manager of a video store. And he stayed alive by like managing himself like almost 24 hours a day in the video. And he just lived for going to the video store. And the only other thing he did was his weekly martial arts classes, which was like kind of built into this idea of like wanting to have one of those heroic moments like Batman, right?
Yep.
I don't think he took off a day more than once every 2 or 3 years. It so happened on the one day he took the day off, the other guy he worked with that was a bonehead and also interested in the same girl, that they were both interested in the same girl. So like Nemesis was working a shift. This is kind of over in the industrial district. And some like guy comes in to rob their video store. And because the guy who was replacing him for that shift wasn't very bright, when the robber came in with a loaded gun and pointed it in his face and said, "Empty the cash drawer," he decided it was a pretend gun, jumped over the till and beat the living snot out of the bank robber, ended up in the Calgary Sun as a local hero for risking his life to
save the records.
Right. There's a scene in Monuments Men where John Goodman like is all blasé because he thinks they're shooting blanks over his head. He suddenly realizes they were actually shooting real live ammunition over his head, and he could have been blown up at any point. And that kind of like I think what was happening to this young fellow when he realized that was a real gun. I think he had like a fainting moment.
Like, oh, what?
But he didn't have a fainting moment when the newspapers came. And all I can really say is it absolutely ruined Matthew's life that he wasn't there for that shift to knock the villain out and be that guy that saved the girl that they both had a crush on.
Timing is everything.
Isn't it?
And fate is cruel.
Yeah, you're right about both those things. I actually think lately, though, all of the things that ever happened in your life that feel like failures or disappointments tend to be like key moments in your life. And it reminds me of Aaron Lee, who used to sell dream catchers at the gallery, and would often tell the story without any explanation or precursor. He would just start saying, "Hey, you remember right before you were born, that minute where you picked the life you wanted to have? And, you know, at the top of the list, it said, do you want to have an exciting, adventurous life?" And you're like, "Yeah, sock it to me." And the next question down is, "Are you willing to suffer some pain?" And you're like, "Nope." And then it bumps you back to the first question is like, "Do you want to have an exciting life?" And he's like, "Yep." And then the second time you go down, you see the same question. "Are you willing to suffer some pain?" You're like, "I guess I'm going to have to suffer some pain." It's like, "How much pain do you want?" Like, "Just a little." Bumps you back to the beginning. You're like, "Okay, then fine. I'll take all the pain. Please serve me a full order of pain." "Okay, now do you want to go through life without ever getting your heart broken?" "No, I think I'd like to try that." "How would you want to go through life without ever breaking a limb?" "No, I'm going to have to try that too." "Is there anything you don't want to try?" Like, "No, give me the full order." And what if it is true that right before you're born, you ask for all the pain and damage you're ever going to see, and when you do die, you realize you did that to yourself all along? If you're atheist, by the way, this isn't a very interesting conversation for me to bring up. But do you remember that moment right before you were born?
Sadly, no. I have a hard time remembering things before 5 years.
And plywood. Sometimes I get stuck on words and stuff like.
I do a lot.
Yeah.
I usually find myself hitting myself in the forehead to try and generate a memory.
No.
Probably not the best habit.
No.
My school password is so funny. Every time I go to type it in, I have to talk myself out of saying it out loud. It's just such a good password. And sometimes when you have a funny password and something that goes wrong and the tech comes in, they're like, "Okay, you're going to have to tell me your password." I'm like, "No, I'm not." Just show me how to fix it myself. Like, "Well, I need your password." I'm like, "I'd rather just type it in myself. If that's okay." They're like, "You're not supposed to have inappropriate passwords." Who said it's inappropriate? You like this, Penny?
Oh, very much.
Right?
I like that. The range of imagery that you're
Here's a funny question. I was having a really bad moment today. Like I was really feeling low. And Luca came in and said, Mr. Taylor, I have a question that I think only you can ask. I'm like, that's what I need to hear. What is your question? It's like, where does Cookie Monster live? On Sesame Street. Like, yeah, but where? Like in an apartment? I'm like, whoa. I know where Ernie and Bert live. I know where Oscar lives. I know where, I think you've seen where the Count lives. I know where Ernie's rubber duck lives. Right? I don't know where Guy Smiley lives. Right? I don't know where Snuffleupagus lives.
I know where. And Big Bird, I know where Big Bird lives.
Yeah, but you don't know where Snuffleupagus lives.
Yeah.
You're thinking Snuffleupagus lives with Big Bird?
I remember. I can see
Big Bird has like a back alley.
Yeah,
That's not where Snuffleupagus lives.
I kind of thought so.
Well, we could talk about this all night, but
I'm gonna look. Oh,
Snuffleupagus didn't even have a persona for the longest time.
I'm just gonna look because now I can see a place, but I
I
wonder
love
if
you
it's.
doubting me.
No, I'm not doubting you. I'm saying.
On Sesame Street.
No, I'm not doubting you.
No, you're allowed to doubt me. We're married. You're allowed to have your own beliefs and stuff.
I just have an image, and maybe that's not where he lived. Maybe he.
It doesn't matter. You're wrong.
What were you talking about? Oh, you don't know where.
Kid asked me, where does Cookie Monster live? I don't think Cookie Monster has a live.
Snuffleupagus lives at 456 Snuffle Circle.
Can I see? What are you asking though?
Snuffle Circle.
Because
Oh my God, Snuffy's parents.
the reason I ask is I was testing something out on ChatGPT,
Mm-hmm.
and I asked ChatGPT where Cookie Monster lives,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so eager to give you an answer, whether it knows the answer or not. It will just tell you stuff,
Mhm.
and you got to pick up the habit of knowing when it's just giving you an answer.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a house where somebody intentionally decided to create a Cookie Monster out of the front window.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like kind of like Halloween decorations.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT tried to convince me that it was Cookie Monster's house was a like a window sticking out of the front of a whatever. And I realized it just gone and did an image search and came up with an answer based on like it saw a picture and said that was the house. Like it was adamant, like it was sure that was. So some people will know to never trust the ChatGPT. I treat it at an arm's length, but I was shocked to find out that I don't know that. Know that Cookie Monster has a home.
Yeah, because one answer said he lives in the apartment building
The window.
where Bert and Ernie and all of them live in the apartment building.
Oh,
But,
can I tell you something?
but I don't think
I do think that is kind of true
Mhm.
because I remember seeing Cookie Monster kind of down by where the mailboxes are.
Oh, okay.
So I remember he was in an apartment building. I don't remember ever seeing Ernie and Bert near the doorway where the mailboxes are, but I do sort of have a memory of Cookie Monster and like those index cards sort of.
Yeah, like the little. Wait, like our kind of like our boxes?
Do you see that picture?
No.
Hmm.
But I can try to find it.
You do not have to. I just thought it was an interesting question. Like,
It is, yeah. I like that they came to you too.
right? You seem like you know.
This is something only you can help me with.
Yeah.
Only Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
What?
I just like Ernie and Bert are so cute, and just that idea of like don't when
Ernie's wearing the like fruit hat, and then Bert's just like, "Don't laugh, you'll encourage him."
That's me.
But they're so sweet to each
mean
other.
for no, they're not.
Gentle they are.
No.
They're not.
Bert is not gentle with Ernie.
Just so you know, Cookie Monster actually lives illegally in one of Fred Trump's apartments.
Who?
You
Fred-
don't know who Fred Trump is?
Is he Donald's dad?
Yeah.
I actually, can I tell you, I do know who Fred Trump is. Only because the other day, Felix was asking me a random question, and he was just making it up, like, wouldn't it be weird if something? And I said, actually, I happen to know that Donald Trump's dad was Jerk.
That's right.
And he said, "Who's more evil?" or something.
Yeah, and I was like, well, the reason I know this is because, was he wondering if Trump maybe had a rough ride because possibly somebody in his family was a jerk? I was like, I happen to know his grandpa's a jerk. And Felix is like, how do you know that? And I was like, well, because Woody Guthrie wrote a song warning us about what a jerk.
Fred Trump was.
Right. Okay. So we're talking about the same thing. That's Fred Trump.
Yeah. That's Donald's dad.
Was he famous in any way?
Racist piece of S, and Donald, absorbed all of his father's
Strengths.
What chance do you have when Woody Guthrie's writing a song about what a dick your dad is?
Yeah, gotta like that. Woody was not a very tolerant of assholes.
Right.
And he had the perfect slogan on his guitar.
Yeah.
This machine kills fascists. Yeah.
Yeah.
And truly, they do not like freedom of speech and music and anything that's wild and free.
I often kind of wonder that about Trump, is that I'm trying to grow an empathy for the other. So me being kind of a pinko commie, I'm trying to grow empathy towards people who
Someone like Trump?
I can't go that far.
Good. Thank you. I was getting a little concerned there for a second.
No, and I think we're at a safe point where it's okay to say I don't think I would ever support anybody that supports Trump. Those used to be like fighting words, like how can you judge somebody for their politics? I'm like, well,
real easy.
Yeah, easily. No. Yeah.
There was a guy who I unfriended when he was talking about Donald Trump, who used to come to figure drawing, and he wrote this long thing about how like our art gallery was supposed to, first of all, they thought we were living off of grants. And so he gave me this long lecture about how dare I spend government money on grants to keep this gallery open, and then judge him for his beliefs. All I did was say, like, this guy wrote something about Trump. I was like, I don't really want to be friends with this guy anymore. He can still come to the gallery, but I took him off my friend list. And I got a long lecture about making decisions about who I wanted to entertain on my social media, because now he didn't feel welcome at the figure drawing. I'm like, if you don't feel welcome at figure drawing, that's a you problem, because I'm saying you're welcome, right? Like, anyway. Yep. But I think we crossed the point where it's okay to hate Trump, or at least I thought that until I learned about Berta Dad, Berta Proud Dad, which is probably what happens after you grew up being a proud boy.
I'm not familiar with that particular piece of garbage, but I saw something about it today on one of my news feeds.
Yeah.
And I just assumed by looking at the comments, okay, this is a person that I don't need to know anything more about.
Well, he was deeply offended that one of the teachers made a comment about Donald Trump, and he wanted to contact the school, and he sort of documented himself making his complaints to the school about the teacher and the list of follow-up things that he wanted to happen, make sure it didn't happen again for the teacher and Dr. No, that's like valid. We're not allowed to have opinions like that at school.
Oh, is that right?
He's not wrong. He's just like was really capitalizing on it. And I think probably
I gotta jump in here. You're not allowed to have opinions?
No.
During school hours, is that what you're saying?
Anytime.
Oh, well, then that's bullshit.
Yeah, but that's always been there. Here's the
Word of
funny
dad
thing.
is bullshit.
Here's the thing is that my former principal years ago wrote a book, and he wanted me to take a look at his book, and so he was sending me a copy of his book, but he's adamant that he had to use my home address because technically anything I make while I work for the school board, my contract thinks it owns it.
Yeah, I know that particular piece of garbage.
The comments I make on this live feed could be held against me in my teaching career. So we're teachers all the time, and we're not allowed to have political opinions at all. That's normal. That's like the backlash about us, letting our opinions slip is valid because during like a strike or something, you'll get teachers that are like bawling in the classroom, and the kids are like, "What's the matter?" And they'll forget themselves, like, "I just can't take it anymore." And those things are also those are also frowned upon. And all of that really comes down to like how well you're liked. If people hate you, they'll go after you. And if they like you, they'll kind of let it slide that you're
Mhm.
We have to be inhuman though. We have to be more human than human, like a Rob Zombie song.
Yep. But I'm just curious. I'm surprised to know that you're not allowed to have opinions outside of teaching hours.
We're not.
That seems to me to be pushing freedom of expression just a tad too far.
It's always been that way.
Wrong way.
I used to live in the Teachers Terrace, which is like it's on 8th Street, kind of near Cafe Vino. It was across from Rundle School, and it was a living quarters for the teachers that moved to Alberta to teach in the early 1910s, 1920s. Those teachers were expected to be celibate. So when you became a teacher, you weren't allowed to date or marry, and you lived in these miserable, tiny apartments across the street from the school where the kids are going to throw rocks at you. I'm pretty sure that place was haunted.
Yep. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. So, like, you forfeited your right to get married.
To get a job. Well, it's an intriguing bit of legalese that I'm sure is no longer valid under our Constitution.
I got married. The
There
best
you go.
ever. Yeah, I don't
remember that wedding. It was a very good wedding.
Thanks.
It was a lot of fun, actually.
That is
It's not often you see people getting married on top of a roof. It
I-
was a very nice roof.
That was our Beatles moment.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
These are expensive papers, or these weren't that bad.
No, they're
You're probably right. I should have got a knife. I just don't want to do that to the edge of this paper. But then I guess I kind of wrecked a few pieces of paper tonight. That's supposed to be like a haunted.
they're scared.
Yeah. Do you like Stephen King, Theo?
I read his books as they came out quite vociferously in the 60s.
Yeah.
Because I get them from our library, and then I just sort of stopped, and nothing against them. I just got away from using libraries for a while, and didn't buy his stuff. So, for all I know, all of his best stuff has been written after I stopped reading him. I really don't know. I just know he's a popular author, and he's done a lot of great stuff. And I like the stuff that I read in his early days.
Yeah. I'm going to say that by far his best work was early in his career.
Oh, okay.
But we're going to stay in the, did I tell you already? Maybe we told you this last week. We're going to stay in the hotel where he wrote The Shining.
Wow. Cool. Where is that?
Colorado.
Ah.
Colorado.
And you're going to Colorado when?
Well, the next time we go on a road trip, we want to go to San Diego. And then after San Diego, on the way back, we're going to go to Colorado.
Oh,
We were going to go to the Grand Canyon. Felix doesn't like heat and isn't interested in the Grand Canyon. So we were also going to go to Monterey, which is where that was the setting of one of my favorite books, which is Cannery Row. And
yeah.
if I had to pick between The Shining and Cannery Row is on my top list of greatest books. But there's something about particularly The Shining and the idea of staying in that that hotel that really speaks to me. So,
And it became an all-star, an all-star movie. Have you read Travels with Charlie?
who wrote it?
Steinbeck.
No.
Oh.
I read Of Mice and Men, obviously at school because they make you.
Yeah.
Cannery Row is. I love Cannery Row so much.
Yeah. Well, Travels with Charlie was Steinbeck taking his dog and fitting up a pickup truck with a makeshift cabin on it. So he might have been one of the first people to sort of inspire that add-on to pickup trucks.
Yeah.
And he rode around the States and eventually ended up back in Cannery Row to see all of the people, or try and find the people that he knew when he wrote Cannery Row.
Right. And now Monterey is, even when he wrote Cannery Row, was a literary community.
Yeah.
The reason that he wrote Cannery Row, it was this town where writers would go. And I'm trying to think of who the other writers that lived there were. They were like phenomenal. It wasn't like Melville, because I know he was on the East Coast, but there was a phenomenal history of writers in Cannery Row. And in Monterey.
Yeah, it's an artist haven for sure.
Artists always go to the fish canneries because once it smells bad, nobody else will go there.
Yeah, it's funny that good old Steveston never became an artist colony in the lower mainland of Vancouver.
Yeah, didn't it? Granville did, right? That was the arts community in Vancouver came from that cannery.
Well, the Granville Island you're referring to?
Yeah.
Well, by the time that became an arts community, it was no longer a fish processing place.
Well, how that happens is there's like fish, and then when the fish dry up or the jobs dry up for the cannery, they have these buildings that no one would dream of going into, and the artists are willing to lower themselves. Yeah.
Turn them in, just like downtown, north of Hastings Street and West Hastings, behind in the area of what became Gastown was full of artist place, and including at the time the Vancouver School of Art had several buildings that were used for the painting department.
Yeah. Hey, do you know Long John Baldry?
Do I know Jeff?
No, sorry. Do you know the musician Long John Baldry?
Vaguely, yes. He's good stuff, but again, everything that I know about him, I can't recall.
Well, that's what I was going to say about him, is that I don't know Long John Baldry other than by name.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a name we recognize, right?
Yeah.
But I was in Vancouver, and I took the day off from school at ACA before it became ACAD, and I used to fly out student standby to Vancouver because you could fly for $50 to Vancouver if you're under 25. I had family in Vancouver, and so I would just drop in on them without warning and spend a week. And I was also I was enrolled. My ex-girlfriend helped me enroll in my classes, and so I was in all those same classes as her, which meant when we broke up, every single day was
a little difficult.
Yeah. So that's several times I just took whole days off and went to Vancouver. One day I was just sitting in the sort of food court at at in Granville Island,
Yeah.
and there was a guy busking.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I actually don't know who Long John Baldry is, but this guy singing on the guitar sounds like I would imagine Long John Baldry to sound if Long John Baldry was a guy who busked on Granville Island and just showed up with his guitar and played, and people put money in his hat.
Yeah.
Do you know who this star was that sounded so much like Long John Baldry?
I don't know. Who was it?
Long John Baldry.
Oh, there you go.
Turns out,
I was going to say, I know Long John played in Vancouver a few times. My friend Terry would go and with her buddy. They were underage, but they'd crash. They'd get into I forget it. I think it was the Cave, but I'm not a positive on that, where Baldry would play, because they really liked Long John Baldry. Plus, they really liked drinking, so it went hand in hand. If they got in, great, we can drink. And this is Long John. And they had a couple of conversations with him, I believe, too.
if they were drinking and underage,
Yep.
probably wasn't in the same time that I was going to see Long John Baldry, but I did see him from time to time on my excursions to Vancouver. And
Yep.
The thing that struck me was, well, like I said, I didn't even know who Long John Baldry was.
Yep.
I just remember thinking that's what I imagined him to be like. And then somebody mentioned that he lived a few blocks from there, and he was actually in the 90s there all the time busking.
Oh, yeah.
Doing
Well,
his,
yeah, no, this was Terry and her buddy would have caught him in the 60s.
right. Maybe he was a little washed up and didn't want to go to the bars, or I wonder why he was so comfortable just going and playing in a food court or a cafeteria.
Sometimes, it might have been that he was comfortable and he didn't need to do tours or anything. I don't know the history of Long John that well, so.
Yeah.
But, the fact that,
I can't
he
even
made good music anyway.
I can't even imagine what he looks like or sounds like now. I think maybe I kind of remember him being a little bit like Cat Stevens. Is that right?
I kind of have that in my head. Look, Scott says Someone Saved My Life Tonight by Elton John is about Long John Baldry talking Elton out of getting married.
Yeah.
Oh, and Jack Pike said, "Have a good night."
Would that be somebody talked Elton John's songwriting partner out of getting married, or Elton John?
Elton John.
Because Elton John wrote the lyrics, and his music partner Elton John wrote the melodies, and his music writing partner wrote the lyrics.
Yep.
Did you just read that tidbit, or how did you? Oh,
Scott wrote it.
Scott. Okay.
Would you like me to get the spray or?
No, I'm gonna have to clean up later, so I need to let this dry before I turn it into something. Am I gonna put my ego aside and get that knife? Do you think I should do that? Were you gonna get me a knife?
Yeah, I was gonna.
Oh, I don't get it. Huh?
No,
I missed my
I
opportunity.
just didn't know what you were asking.
I was speculating whether it's time for me to just give in my pride and look at the roadmap.
Would you like this, or would you like an actual knife?
I
Actual
don't
knife.
think that'll help me. Suddenly, I'm feeling less secure about the knife. I thought you had a plan that made sense.
Like this?
I think the knife's going to make a mess. Sorry. I'm just going to tear them off. Are you done with this table?
Me?
Are you using this table?
Oh no, I'm not using the tape.
Long John Baldry. What did he look like? He had a good name. Long John. He does not look like I thought. Yes, he does. All right. I know what I'm painting tonight, baby.
Long John?
Nope. Close though.
Long Johns? Joe Longs?
I'm painting my man Shelf Silverstein.
Oh, that is.
What are you saying?
Nothing. I thought I had the tune of that one Elton John song in my head, but then it kind of evolved. And I was like, oh. Long Road. Yellow Brick Road.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
You remember how our friend Eric Vollmers hates Billy Joel?
Yeah.
Like with a passion, right? When I was a kid,
Yeah.
I had no opinion about Billy Joel. And then in my early record buying days, I went into the store and I went and bought a 4 record set of Billy Joel's greatest hits. It might be in that pile over there. I hope I threw it out. But it had like 20 pretty good songs. It didn't have one song that I loved, but over and over again, it had pretty good songs. I probably thought I thought Piano Man was a pretty good song, and I would say I was a teenager and I realized I've never really been a Billy Joel fan. However, I think at any given time in my life, I liked not that bad at least one Billy Joel song. Like at least one of the songs that I didn't hate on the radio at any given time was a Billy Joel song. Why the hell did I start this conversation? Billy Joel. What were we talking about?
Long John Baldry.
Nah. What was their relationship?
I was the Yellow Brick Road.
Right. That's what happened. And at this particular age and day in my life, I'm kind of realizing in the same way that I thought I liked Billy Joel, because I always had at least one song I didn't hate of Billy Joel. I like the idea of Elton John more than I like Elton John. Maybe kind of like the Bee Gees, you know? I think it's cool that the Bee Gees invented disco, driving on the boardwalk to the recording studio and heard the I like that story. I don't actually like their music, right? And I think like if Me First and the Gimme Gimmes recorded a Bee Gees song, I could probably get into it like, yeah, this is actually a pretty great song. Like, you remember when we were at the record store? What's the country sort of music that's the musician that kept saying we should listen to? James Taylor, right? I was like, oh, we should try James Taylor. Like, I don't really listen to James Taylor, but maybe I don't hate James Taylor. 100%. It came from I took over this job years ago, and the guy I replaced had on his computer a bunch of MP3s, and a lot of the MP3s that I would listen to were like Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. One of the Foo Fighters was in that band sometimes. I don't know how that worked, but I was like, I know that guy from the Foo Fighters. James Taylor, there's a few Me First and the Gimme Gimme songs. And not telling it so recently. But I thought maybe I like James Taylor. You know what I mean? Like when you hear good cover and you go, maybe I should go back to the source.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Because we have that like epic.
Elton John cover album.
We have 2.
Yeah.
Double Elton John cover albums. One was a pop album and the other was a country music album. Neither are our musical interests for the most part. And then, but and stars that we're not interested in doing, like Elton John songs, like to the nth degree. Those are 2 epic albums, which I thought might be my entry into like really getting in and getting to understand Elton John. But then realizing I don't think I like Elton John. Like I like who he is, I like what he stands for, I like things that he's done. But
Oh my God, you don't like his songs? Oh,
I think maybe I thought I liked his songs because I love the tribute. I love the tribute album to his songs, and I like elements of the person. I like the narrative. Like if I saw Elton John, I'd lose my mind. Like, oh my God, that's Elton John. But then, like when it comes to like listening to his music, it's like it's a shock to me to realize I don't like Elton John.
Well, I think because Elton was a penultimate pop artist,
Yeah,
and he presented himself in a way that, you know, just appealed to everyone in the 70s. You know, we can't talk about anything. I mean, this was when he was at his highest popularity, I guess we'd call it. And you know, yeah, he definitely fulfilled a need for a lot of baby boomers, myself included. I like this stuff.
See, I would have told you that I loved Elton John, but just listening, I'm realizing I don't think I do.
Yeah.
I thought I did. There's a few sort of musicians like that as well that like over time. Well, I started this with talking about Billy Joel, and it took me a number of years to realize I thought I liked Billy Joel,
Oh,
and I don't. And you know who else I thought I liked was Phil Collins.
mhm.
And I knew I didn't like Pink Floyd, and I always felt like I'm not really
There you go.
because I don't like Pink Floyd, and all the smart people I knew did like Pink Floyd, so I felt this like obligation to pretend I like Pink Floyd, but I actually kind of don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
So I got a question for you though. Which Billy Joel song did you like? I'm trying to remember his songs, and I can't remember any of them. So
I didn't hate all of them. I consistently didn't hate almost all of the Billy Joel songs, but
which one of them all that you now no longer, you know, it wasn't a big deal, but which one attracted you the most, I guess would be the question.
that's the thing I'm trying to struggle to say is I don't think any of them.
Yeah.
I liked any of them. I just didn't hate all of them.
Oh.
Like I hate Nickelback, and I'm not saying that because everybody else hates Nickelback. I hate their lyrics. I hate everything about them.
I don't. Yeah, I've seen that for I don't know. It's probably decades now, and I honestly have no opinion whatsoever about Nickelback, except that I'm aware that a lot of people don't like their stuff, and but I honestly don't think if I've heard them, I can't see how, because I guess they're definitely a commercial radio station product, and I know commercial radio stations.
You can't get through Safeway without hearing Nickelback.
Is that right? Oh God, they're Muzak now. Cool.
Yeah. Well, so are the Ramones, though.
Drive some purists mad.
I was in Safeway as recently as maybe 15 years ago, and they were playing the Ramones in Safeway, and I was like, this is wrong.
Oh no, that's bonus, man.
Joey Ramone's turning in his grave.
Rock, 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 rock away.
Rock and Roll High School. That's a
again, you know, it's really so funny to look at music from the 70s, which is, I guess, you know, the last dying grasp where the boomers controlled we'll call it the public opinion.
Yeah.
And then you know, the generation that followed, what are they called? You know, they started controlling the music in the 80s and through the 90s, and then you know, kids that were born in the mid 80s now started controlling, you know, the music that was coming up in the late 90s, early 2000s, and yeah, it's I love that transition that occurs.
Have you ever heard of Alan Cross's 13-year rock theory. That he takes this 13-year pattern, and every 13 years, rock music would go from like this breakthrough to like to sort of burning out to like tapioca pudding, and you go from like
Oh yeah, comfort, pushing back.
yeah every 13 years in the cycle,
Yeah.
rock music have a resurgence. I think the Strokes were just hitting that 2012, 2002, and I was listening to the radio maybe 2011, and he was predicting that we were on the cusp of the next cycle of the
That's really
the 13-year rock cycle.
Well, it's intriguing how, well, in today's world of, instant communication across the whole planet, it's really difficult for things to happen like they did in the 50s and 60s, where music could be quite local before it became a national phenomenon.
Yeah.
So you definitely had styles coming up, and then Britain, of course, England, and Britain. I mean, they established the British presence in North America in the 60s, and that was a break from the American rock and roll period of the 50s and early 60s.
Yeah.
They got pushed out. And then the other one that I can remember is Nirvana. Just completely blew away everything that was done before it as being the ultimate popular music form.
Yeah.
And that was what, early 90s?
Early 90s, yeah.
Yeah. But after that, I really couldn't say I've paid attention to seismic shifts in music. I think what I've been seeing from my own standpoint is just a vast conglomeration of everything.
Yeah. Well, I'm in a weird spot now where we went and worked at Jerry's Records for a couple weeks during the strike, and at Heritage Records, and we love that store, and we're hoping to pick up more shifts. We thought we would end up in some serious trouble working in a record store during the starvation month.
Oh.
But it's actually surprising to me how much of what we need on vinyl now lives in our collection at home.
Yeah.
I know you're a radio guy.
Yep.
I am not. I like that same realization that I don't think I like Elton John as much as I thought I did. Was also like somewhere along the line, I thought I wasn't going out to clubs because I just got busy along the way. And then now when we go and hear live music, I'm often shocked that I want to go home and listen to records. Deeply. Like, and we'll be at I love the Blues Fest. I liked the Folk Fest. We went and saw Steve Earle, which was twice this year, which both times were amazing. But I'll be sitting in a theater just thinking, I can't wait to get home and hear this on vinyl. And it's weird to be at a show with musicians waiting for them to finish so that I can go home and listen to it in my preferred format. And Jerry had at the store while we're working there a record player and a set of speakers set up by the front door. He's got his regular system that he plays music into.
Yeah.
I just wanted to hear what he was selling at the front door. I put a record on it because it was all plugged in and ready to go. And I was absolutely mesmerized by the sound coming out of these speakers. And I momentarily considered buying these speakers off of Jerry with maybe I could offer him my entire paycheck. And it occurred to me that he had and a preamp, and what's the other thing? What's that?
Receiver.
And a receiver, and I wasn't sure which. I was guessing it was the preamp that was really making the sounds come out the way they did. And I thought to myself, when Jerry gets back, I'm going to ask him if this is a Magic preamp that's not for sale.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Magic preamp that isn't for sale. So basically, what happens with this preamp is he'll get a set of speakers and he'll plug it into this preamp, and you can buy the speakers, but you're going to get home and you're going to be missing this 1960s. I think it's still made with tubes. Vacuum.
Yeah, a lot of amps are for sure, and preamps.
The sound quality of those records going through this old preamp was just phenomenal, and that goes back. I was telling him, like, I used to worry about having too good of a sound system at home, because then anywhere I went, the music would sound like sugar puffs, and
Sugar puffs.
now I would say that I have the record system and enough records at home that I never really want to go anywhere. I just want to stay home with the records. And it's kind of like an ego thing where I have to, like my friends that are conservatives that are teachers, suddenly rethinking their lives. Like, they don't want to change their beliefs, but I actually think the conservative teachers are having a much harder time with the back to work order than the, pinko commies like myself expected to be treated badly. But my conservative teacher friends are like in shock and awe.
Well, that's because they're actual small C conservatives, and the Alberta government heinously abused its power. And, all I can say is I hope they pay for it in a big way.
Well, I put up a picture from the Calgary Herald, and I got an earful from 30,000. I wrote on my page, "Who invited the fascists?" And they thought I was talking to myself. Like, it's funny that.
Well, let's face it. That's the one thing. The great thing that our age has allowed us to do is that it allows people that to offer an opinion about things they know nothing about, and to make all of the wrong conclusions thereof. So, it's just something that we have to live with. It certainly benefits this willful ignorance. Certainly benefits the wrong people.
I thought you were going to say it benefits the stupid, and I was going to say, Theo, they're not stupid, but I'm still waiting for you to say stupid, because that's how I avoid saying it, but I can live vicariously through you.
Yeah. It's
Come on.
What?
Call them stupid.
Who?
The stupid people.
The people that are happy with the destruction of the legal norms, stuff like that.
There is a problem with democracy.
I can't call them stupid. I can call them despicable. I can only call them stupid if in fact I know they are. Willful ignorance seems to be more common. And like I say, the internet allows everyone to form instant opinions without any data backing up that opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone feels free to comment on that. Yep. Yeah, I saw the sun, they just turns out, rises in the west every morning. I didn't know that, And and people, we're gonna find people that, the moon landings were hoaxed because I saw some stuff that proves it. And oh really? What were they? Oh well, blah 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 blah. And, oh yeah, but that was debunked. Oh well, that doesn't mean anything to me. I'm convinced I'm right. Therefore, moon landings were hoaxed. Yeah, you betcha. You go right on thinking that, Sunshine. I won't bother to try and stop you from thinking that.
I feel like I haven't heard the moon landing one in a while.
Oh well, some idiot famous person brought it up recently. I forget who it was. I think it might have been a Kardashian. And yeah, okay, yeah, fine. You just continue down that path, Pumpkin.
The first time I ever heard that reference to the moon landings being faked, and it blew my mind to hear somebody joke about that, was Dan Aykroyd in a movie called Grosse Point Blank with John Cusack.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a throwaway joke, right? I just thought it was like, that's funny. Why would you say that? And then we were watching a James Bond film where James Bond's getting chased in LA, and he cuts through the set where they're filming the fake moon landing.
Yep.
And I was like, did this whole thing start with a lark? Just a one-off.
Well, there's one thing. If there's one thing that you can bet money on big time, is that a lot of screenwriters will go for a cheap joke because it fills up the space that they otherwise have to put something creative in.
Right, but was there something before? It wasn't Moonraker. It was. And the funny thing is, it wasn't at all central to the plot. It was like during.
Oh yeah, it was just a passing joke.
Yeah. But I remember watching it, and then it was actually even kind of subtle. And I had just put the film back. I'm like, hey, grab the remote, and we put the film back, and we're like, is it possible that this is where that rumor started? Is it was a joke in a James Bond film? And I tried to find any earlier reference to the people saying such a thing.
Diamonds are forever.
Yeah.
Well, there's always been people that are willing to suspend belief.
Do you want to know why
it advances their own belief structure?
Yeah. Do you want to know why I never was tempted by the moon landing fakery? Was that the first time I heard that reference, I was an adult, and I was making a living professionally using Photoshop in the 90s, the first time I heard this reference. And I had been a huge fan of Star Trek. And I remember when Kirk was fighting the Gorn, what the top world special effects were at the time. And I just know that they didn't have the ability to fake the moon landing.
Yeah, that's right.
All you got to do is look for even 2001 was still, you could see it wasn't real.
Oh yeah, well look at the lengths that 3D animation has gone since Pixar started.
I know. Well,
and to be honest, now you can have complete movies made using AI, and unless you get told that it's AI, or you're just basically always suspicious of stuff. You won't. You can believe it, because we've been trained for 3 generations now to trust what we see on that little moving screen thingy.
Wait, is Scott moon denier? Maybe
no, he said, I suppose my flat Earth theory is out of the question.
It's flat under your feet. It's not flat. It's not flat in context of the sphere-shaped planet we live on, but for sure under your feet it's flat. You can go that. You can look down and see some flat ground underneath you, and you can even find sometimes some places you can put a marble down and it won't roll away. But
and then there are places you can put a marble down and it'll roll up a hill. What does that mean?
Yeah.
There's actually on the Douglas Fir Trail between here and Felix's house, there's a part of the bike path where you really get the illusion that you're going uphill, but you're you're coasting down and picking up speed. And I remember I rode my bicycle to Edmonton, and I really had the sensation that it was uphill the whole way. I remember I rode to Edmonton with the intention of catching a ride back, and I got to drive back from Edmonton. I remember thinking I did it backwards because it really felt like the whole way was just up.
Okay, and now I have to ask the question: when you rode back, did it still feel like it was going up?
I caught a ride back, so I only rode one way to Edmonton.
We'll never know.
And but I can tell you,
missed such a glorious opportunity.
well, I can tell you that regardless of what it felt like, I happen to know that the altitude is higher in Calgary than Edmonton.
Yep.
So clearly, since water rolls this way, that I'm mistaken to think that we are that it's uphill to Edmonton.
Yep.
But it sure felt uphill, right? I also had a 70-pound bicycle, once with all the camping gear on it.
Yep.
I stopped in a little town back then called Hobima, thinking that I wasn't exactly as tired as I expected to be. I think when I got to Pinoka, I thought I'll go one more town. And I went to this little town called Hobima, and then as I pulled in, I was like, oh, I don't think I can camp here. And so I had to go even farther that day to Wetaskiwin.
Beauty. Good little moon landing.
This one?
Yeah.
You think it's a moon landing?
I do, because I live in a fantasy world and I can think anything.
It's a set in California. Harold actually brought in a piece early on at the Gorilla House that was an extravagant piece of high detail, large, 10 feet by whatever, of the moon landing. But the joke was that you could see the moon in the sky behind him.
Yeah.
And the idea is he wanted to sell the piece, and maybe somebody would have it at home and be sitting with it and then realize afterwards that it was the opposite of what it looked like. And I was pretty insistent that we're not going to sell this piece without talking to the buyer. Because, there's really nothing funny about...
Scott says I'm not serious. Too funny.
Yeah, I didn't think he was.
I know.
But there's nothing funny about like taking advantage of
Of people.
the person that,
Yeah.
that trusted you to buy your art, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
I think early days of Gorilla House, a lot of us still carried that baggage that like, oh, the art buyer's the enemy. And I think the nice thing about that space is we all got to be the art buyer for a while. And
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
oh, I painted this painting. This guy wanted it to match his couch. Well, guess what? His couch was $10,000, and the most expensive painting he's going to spend is 1/10 the cost of his price of his couch. And I found consistently almost everybody I've ever met, maybe not us, maybe not you, but almost every other person I've ever met in my life, when I test them on, I go, how much is your couch? $400. What's your most expensive piece of art? $40. How much is your couch? $4,000. What's your most expensive piece of art? $400. How much is your house? $16,000. What's your most expensive piece of art? $1,600. Like, everybody has a piece of artwork that's one decimal smaller than their couch, and they have to live on their couch. They have to be able to sit on it, and it has to last. So, like, I kind of understand why people are that way. It's
Well,
like,
yeah. People want, for lack of a better term, they want comfortable symmetry in their living areas.
I do.
They don't want surprises.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly all right.
Yeah.
What are you looking something up, Jesse?
Well, I was thinking, are we gonna
Stay up all night
wrap
doing
it
this?
up soon?
Wrap it up, wrap it in, let me begin.
Yeah.
The battle.
My living room, the most expensive piece in my living room is a painting.
Yeah, I know that you're an anomaly and you kind of.
Yep. I'm a weirdo. What song is Jess going to sing tonight?
All of our expenses are invested in records and carpets. What are they called? Rugs.
Rugs, yes.
What's a carpet? What's the difference? It's attached.
Maybe.
Ours are very special rugs that always have a story.
Yeah, rugs go right up to the walls, don't they? Isn't that the definition?
Do you want to see our rugs?
That you can roll up and throw anywhere?
Yeah.
Or is it the other way around? I don't know.
I'm not sure. Okay, Billie Holiday.
Ooh, yeah.
All of me. Why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I want to lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me?
Love you.
Yes.
Thanks for keeping us company. Love you, Scott.
See you next week.
You have a great week, you guys. Love you. Take care.
Bye bye.